It was late, well past midnight. The house was settled into a deep, profound quiet. A mother, following her nightly ritual, crept into her 9-year-old son's room. It was a comforting routine, a final moment to ensure he was safe. But tonight, the familiar darkness was disturbed. Something was profoundly different. In the shadows, she noticed a faint, ethereal light. With a jolt, she realized it wasn't a nightlight. It was coming from her son. At first, she thought it was a trick of the eye, maybe a reflection from the moon filtering through the curtains. She blinked hard, but the glow remained. It was soft, steady, and pulsed with an almost magical quality. Her heart began to race. This was not normal. This was impossible. Drawn by a mixture of fear and wonder, she moved closer. The glow was unmistakable, a gentle luminescence emanating from his skin. She reached out a trembling hand and touched his arm. It felt cool, perfectly normal. He slept on, unaware. The sight was both beautiful and deeply unsettling. What could cause this? Her mind raced through possibilities, chemicals, radiation, but nothing fit. He'd had a normal day, played, eaten, gone to bed. There was no clue, no hint of anything amiss. She stood there watching the gentle light, knowing she couldn't ignore it. This was the beginning of a very strange journey. Her first instinct was practical. Maybe something was on his skin, a glow-in-the-dark sticker, or something he'd spilled. It had to be a simple, logical explanation. She woke him gently, led him to the bathroom, and checked under the bright, unforgiving lights. She scanned every inch of his skin for any residue. Nothing. Still, she persisted. She had him bathed, scrubbing him clean. She changed his pajamas and swapped his bedding, replacing every sheet, determined to eliminate any external cause. Back in the dark room, the glow returned, soft and undeniable. It wasn't his clothes or sheets. The chilling realization hit her. The source was him. The light was coming from inside. Confused and now deeply worried, she turned to the internet, her last resort in the dead of night. Her fingers typed frantic queries. Child skin glowing in the dark. Human bioluminescence. The search results were useless, a frustrating mix of science fiction, articles about fireflies, and nothing real. No medical information, no documented cases, no similar stories from other parents. The lack of answers was terrifying. If this had happened before, there'd be a record. There was nothing. Her son was healthy, but this symptom was a complete mystery. Her efforts had failed. She knew she needed help and would have to explain the impossible to a doctor. The next step was clear. The next day, the mother sat anxiously in the pediatrician's office. She had rehearsed the words, knowing how unbelievable they would sound. With a deep breath, she explained her son's bizarre condition. My son glows in the dark. The doctor listened patiently, his expression a careful mix of professional concern and private skepticism. A routine examination followed. The boy, cheerful and cooperative, seemed perfectly healthy, with no outward signs of any illness. Intrigued, the doctor led them into a windowless exam room. He flicked the switch. For a moment, there was only blackness. Then, a soft, ethereal glow began to emanate from the boy's skin. The doctor was stunned. Years of medical training had not prepared him for this biological impossibility. He admitted he had no explanation but confirmed the phenomenon was real. He reassured the mother that the boy was in no immediate danger, but this medical mystery demanded a thorough investigation. The case had now moved from a private concern to a documented phenomenon, and he recommended a battery of hospital tests, blood work, skin swabs, and specialist consultations. For the boy, it was an adventure. For his mother, the profound relief of being believed. The search for answers was now in the hands of modern medicine. At the hospital, a team of specialists began their investigation. Blood tests, urine tests, screenings for toxins, all normal. The boy was healthy by every measure. Scientists took skin and stool samples, suspecting something internal. In the lab, technicians cultured the samples. After 24 hours, one petri dish glowed in the dark, the sample from the boy's gut. The cause wasn't chemical or radioactive, but alive. The boy had bioluminescent bacteria in his digestive system, making his skin glow. Excitement swept through the hospital. Under the microscope, they identified the culprit. Vibrio fischeri, a marine bacterium known for producing light. It's what makes some deep-sea creatures glow, but it had never been found in a human gut. Until now. One mystery solved, another began. With Vibrio fischeri identified, doctors searched for how it got into the boy. They reviewed his recent history, focusing on what he'd eaten. The mother recalled undercooked shrimp a week before the glow appeared. The shrimp likely carried the bacteria. Normally, gut bacteria would crowd out invaders. But the boy had taken antibiotics for a sore throat days after eating the shrimp. Antibiotics wiped out much of his native gut flora, leaving room for Vibrio fischeri to multiply. The bacteria flourished, producing enough light to shine through his skin. It was a perfect storm-contaminated seafood, antibiotics, and a rare bacterial takeover. The case revealed how delicate our gut microbiome is and how easily it can be disrupted. Sometimes the results are spectacular. Remarkably, the boy was never sick. The bacteria simply lived in his gut, producing light, a process called bioluminescence. As his natural gut bacteria recovered, they outcompeted Vibrio fischeri. The glow faded each night, disappearing within 2 weeks. The boy returned to normal. Doctors documented the case, publishing it as a medical first, the only known human to glow from bacterial colonization. The story amazed the scientific world. It highlighted the power and fragility of our microbiome. A simple disruption led to an extraordinary outcome. Science is full of surprises, and mysteries remain. The boy who glowed in the dark became a testament to the wonder of the human body.